Ego is the most selfish, childish, primitive part of you. And you have this part of you that is hardwired into you so that you can survive. It's a natural part of our existence to have an ego and to be the way we are. Now, the ego, what it does is it clings and attaches to things, and it behaves in very, very selfish ways. And we're going to be walking through some of these things it does in order to understand it better so that we can start keeping it at bay. Here are some examples of ego that you might see in yourself and in others. Justifying your actions and your behavior. Blaming others and not taking responsibility. Closed-mindedness, fear and judging. Jealousy, worrying, and being offended easily. Deep down, we all know that we are something greater than these petty behaviors. And we're going to explore how to do that, primarily through raising our consciousness. For example, in a deep meditation, your ego would struggle to survive because you're starving it of thoughts and worries to feed on. A good way to overcome ego is to become aware of your judgments and attachments. Your judgments and attachments are the work of your ego. Becoming aware of your attachments requires keen self-awareness. Feel when tension arises or when suffering arises. Start linking it back to ego. Maybe you feel angry by something infuriates you. And pause and think, wait a second, in what way is this clashing with the sense of me? We're watching carefully. When we feel offended, when we feel jealous, when we feel angry, when we feel insecure, and we're linking it back to ego. We're realizing that all of these things have a strong link back to our sense of self and what we identify with. Here's a cool quote that Einstein said. He said, "The true value of a human being is determined primarily by the measure and the sense in which he has attained liberation from the self." And by the self, he just means the ego mind. Now, this is a profound quote, and it's highlighting how as you free yourself from your mind, from yourself, from your ego, there is no greater accomplishment, really. This is where it's at. This is the stuff, man. This is what we're looking for, really. You should respect yourself massively if you are doing this work, right? You're literally on the path to peace and happiness, right? Criticizing this path or judging it or dismissing it will do nothing. Imagine if you were judging, for example. This path is about realizing that, oh look, I can see that I'm judging something right now. And of course, that judging, spirituality, just a bunch of crap, right? Where does that come from? What is saying that? Ego is saying that, right? As you reduce ego, what is being uncovered is just total consciousness, awareness, your literal true nature. Any and all fear, weakness, and human limitation comes from ego. And when we massively reduce that, then you're ready to rock and roll. Gandhi said, when you make yourself into zero, your power becomes invincible. Becoming aware of ego and working and practicing, seeing it in your life in different areas, is one of the most important skills you can possibly develop. It's fundamental to your basic happiness. If you dismiss this, you're missing out.